This is the boring part. Let me share this. Share, right post. All right. What is up? That took, a minute almost? 42 seconds. There we go. All right. What is up? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the What Had Happened Was podcast for July 16th, 2018. If you're listening to this on the podcast, if you're watching live, right now it's July 15th. July 16th, what's the significance there? My mother, Kathy D, Miss Horizontal herself, turns the big 60, 60 years on this planet. She was born in 1958, which is 60 years. So 2018 minus 60 is 1,958. So in the 2018th year of our Lord, my mother, the one, the only, the Wrath of Kath, is she's 60. So if you see her, wish her a happy birthday. All right, all right, let me restart that. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the What Had Happened Was podcast. Take two. I actually hit record on the actual audio version of the podcast this time. If you're watching live, it is Sunday, July the 15th. If you're listening to this on the podcast, who knows what day it is, but it should go live July 16th, which is the birthday of the big Kathy D, Miss Horizontal herself. The Wrath of Kath, all the different nicknames she's had throughout the years. In the 2018th year of our Lord, she is now 60 years old. So if you see her or you know her, she's not on Facebook, so you can't reach out to her that way. But if you got the phone number, reach out, shoot her an email, shoot her a text. We're still dealing with the sliding laptop. Still at my parents' house, probably will be for the foreseeable future. We meet with a builder on Tuesday, so that's exciting. I get to see how much money we don't have and what we can't get. That's basically what our Tuesday meeting is going to be about. That list of things that we cannot get. We're going to meet with the builder. We're going to see what we can't get. Should have known that this wasn't going to take long. 3 minutes in, we already have our first intruder into the podcast, and it is Maxon. What's up, buddy? Okay, well, I told you what you have to do. You have to either wait. Okay, well, take it into the hallway. You'll get better internet there. Take it into there. All right? Daddy's doing the podcast, so you got to figure it out on your own, okay? Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't take long. So we already have our first podcast intruder. It was Maxon. And I will say, I did want to talk about how great it's hot in this room. I'm going to be glistening by the end of this fucking podcast. I did want to talk about how, there's no better feeling in the world than coming home to your kid after you've been gone. Lindsay and I went out after closing on Thursday. We ended up going to Stingray. Thank you to everyone who reached out. We got a lot of good recommendations, whether it was Mount Fuji in Rehoboth, Flying Fish down in Fenwick Island, Bushi Sushi over in Lewis. We ended up going to Stingray in Rehoboth, met up with Joey and Amy. It was phenomenal. The food was great. Then we went to Iron Hill afterwards, grabbed some beers. It was a really good time. Can't complain. But what I was saying was there's no better feeling in the world than after you've been out or when you come home. And even if it's just for a couple hours, your kids make it like it's been like decades since they've seen you last. And there's just no better feeling in the world than coming home to them. There's no better feeling in the world than coming home to them. And to see the smile on their faces, and when they greet you and they come jumping off the bed and Daddy, Mommy, we're so happy to see you. Okay, well, you have to hit the refresh button. I can't help you right now, okay? You got to figure it out. So hit the refresh button, hit the little face, do whatever you got to do, okay? Tap it to retry, it says. And then close the door. Thank you. Big issues going on here in the Dendarski household. The kid can't, the internet is working much better. And a modem that actually works. It's gets the internet almost throughout the whole house. That's how I'm bringing this to you right now live, because the internet actually works. But there are still some pockets, and Maxton seems to be sitting in one of those right now. Speaking of my kids and how happy I am to see them when they get home, I heard about a study the other day where there's now an allowance pay gap that boys make more money in allowance than girls. And of course, I was, I'm a little libtard snowflake, so I was interested in that story. So I clicked on it, and as I'm reading about it, there's no fucking allowance gender pay gap at all. Boys and girls are paid comparably for the same chores. The difference is that boys are asked to do more chores. So it's not that there's a pay gap like, oh, boys get $10 for washing dishes and girls get $8. No, it's just that parents are more likely to ask boys to do more chores for whatever reasons. I don't know if it's like that whole sexist thing, like the girl can't mow the lawn, the girl can't clean the gutters, the girl can't rake the leaves, the girl can't take the trash out, whatever that sexist bullshit is. But there is actually, like, I hate that about studies. Like, you see a headline and then you read the actual study and it's like, well, that didn't fucking match the headline. What it should said is boys are asked to do more chores than girls, which is horseshit. Why are boys asked to do more chores than girls? I feel like girls are more responsible. Girls are smarter. They age faster. So like maybe we should be asking the girls to do more chores than boys. It just struck me as odd that the article, and I guess it was done for clicks, and everybody's got to make money. I understand that, but I just don't get it. Like, oh, there's a gender pay gap in allowances, and then you read the story. No, it's just that boys do more chores than girls, so they end up making more money. It was frustrating, to say the least, that it lends to that whole fucking fake news deal, which Britain got a whiff of this weekend, as Trump went to Britain, gave an interview. They quoted him, and then the next day he said that the interview was completely made up, that he has tapes to back up that it was fake. Of course, he'll never release the tapes because he said the fucking quotes, and he'll just leave it out there to discredit the thing as best he can. We're not going to go too much onto him, but I did touch on him last week where I didn't really touch on him. I touched on me, where I said, I was kind of born on second, because I get tired of hearing that Trump was born on third. Trump hit a fucking home run. He was born literally standing on home plate again. Like his dad already rounded the bases for him, put it and sat his little ass right down on the plate, and he fucking hit a home run. So I was a little pissed about that people say he was born on third when he clearly hit a home run. But no, I was born very firmly on second base, and this first week back with my parents has been pretty easy. I can't complain at all. They've been super accommodating. They got decals up in the kids' room. Sloan was able to put up her decals. We're putting up decals for Max tomorrow. So they've gone out of their way to make us feel welcomed and at home, and it's just nice. I just wish that I always touch on myself very often, actually. I try to do it at least twice a week. That's how this podcast started, if you guys don't know. I don't think episode 1's even available anymore because I only have 50 episodes available. I can make the whole thing available, but they would take longer to load or buffer. I forget what the issue was, but I was basically told to keep it to 50 episodes. So only the last 50 episodes are available. But in the first ever episode, I touched on the fact that I touched on myself. So there's that. We don't want to lose my mom again. I don't know. I might have her back to listening to the podcast. She's traveling this week, so maybe she'll listen. Who knows? No, but so I was born, firmly on second, but I'm a little mad at my parents for not owning land, because I've got a few friends whose parents were able to give them land, and that would have been nice to be born on third. Because like I said, we're going to this meeting on Tuesday where I'm going to sit down with this builder, and they're basically going to tell me all the things that I can't buy, or that I can't afford, or sorry, you can't get the upgraded cabinet. Sorry, you can't get the basement. And it's just going to be sad, because if I had land to put down as collateral, it would be much, much easier. I don't want to, denigrate what anybody has, but I thank my parents a lot, but where were they? They should have been buying land all over southern Delaware when they had the chance, when it was like $5,000 an acre, and I could be sitting pretty. This is all selfishness about me. I don't give a shit about their portfolio or their real estate portfolio or their stock portfolio. I wanted some land so that I could have that bequeathed to me, and I could then use it as collateral as a down payment. Because, I I talk to myself for 30 minutes a week on the podcast. Of course, I'm all about myself. We all know I care way too much about myself. So much so that I went ahead and created an alter ego. I didn't really create an alter ego. It was out of necessity. So Lindsay and I, when we were first together, obviously we weren't married. So the house was in her name. We put the escape in her name because she had better credit. Still does, not surprisingly. We were talking about me here. And the van's in my name. So we have a couple of different things in like solo names. So our bank account is joint. I sound like the drive-through again. Thank you, guys. It's probably not the connection. It's probably this. I hope that's better. Usually that fixes it. I think that has fixed it. I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's probably because I left to go do something else before I hit go live, and the microphone tried to be on channel 1 and 2 yet again. So I got to figure out, maybe not leave the shit sit around for so long, like it's just going to wait for me. But I think that I should be back to sounding good. It looks like my levels are good here. I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks good. Should be. If not, I'm sure someone else will hit me up and let me know. Thank you guys very much for that. So anyway, where was I? Oh, okay. So there were a couple different things in different names. So the car, the Escape's in Lindsay's name, the minivan's in my name. So I don't know if any of you have this issue, different things in different spouses' names, but when you call, sometimes you're like, oh, I can't talk to you about that account, or, oh, I can't do this about that account. Well, I've grown sick of that, especially with selling the house. Like, we were always on the phone with Bank of America, or we were on the phone with this person or that person, or the electric company, or Chesapeake Gas, or whoever it was, to get things, connected, disconnected. And they'd be like, we can't talk to you about that. We have to talk to your wife. Your wife's name is the one that's on the account. So it was always an issue for me. So what I've done this week, I created an alter ego, and I call her Betty Lou, because I realized I can't stay in a character unless I go Southern. So I had to go Southern, and Lindsay Bedwell, which is her name on a lot of the stuff that she's on, because obviously we weren't married yet, now has the most Southern drawl ever. So I had to call the car company, our account number, so I could make a payment, because you need the whole account number. And I had all of our bills in storage, and the forwarding mail hadn't come to our house yet. So I had to call Citizens, or I forget who our car loans are. I think it's Citizens. I think hers is Citizens. Why does it matter? Who cares if it's Citizens or M&T? I don't know why. Why am I wasting your fucking time with this? Anyway, so I call, and I know her social security number. I know, obviously, our address. I know when the loan originated. I know the zip code, all this stuff. So I know all the things that I need to know. I'm just obviously not Lindsay. So what I've done is I've now, and I'll give you a little preview of her voice. I hope I don't get I hope the fucking feds don't come knock down the door because I committed wire fraud or something. So it's this. Hi, this is Lindsay Bedwell, and I just moved, and I really need to pay my car bill, but I just can't seem to find my last bill with my account on it. I've moved, and my mail hasn't been forwarded yet. So would you be nice enough to go ahead and tell me my account number while we're on the phone right now, sir? And then he goes through his whole rigmarole. Yes, Mrs. Bedwell, we have to confirm that it's you. Can you give us the zip code? Can you give us your social security number? Can you give us all these different fucking things? And I literally am sitting there trying not to laugh. I think the guy was trying not to laugh too. I think he pretty much knew that it was a man trying to disguise his voice as a girl. So he comes back on and he's like, Ms. Bedwell, I've got the account number. It's ba, 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 ba. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You have yourself a very blessed weekend. And at this point, this guy's not even fucking hiding it anymore. He's just literally laughing, and he's like, you too, ma'am, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm like, oh, God bless you. And so now I'm into it. I think I might just start calling random places as Betty Lou, and see how long I can stay in that character, because I've really enjoyed it. I don't know if that says something about me. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a liberal. I like to talk like a woman. and we can see where that goes. So I don't know. I was pretty impressed with it. So if you guys get a call from Betty Lou, it's probably me drunk trying to you know, prank call you. Is that a thing? Do people still prank call each other? Can you even do that on cell phones? Is there like a number disguiser? What was it? Star 67 back in the day would hide your number, and then star 69 you could tell who called you. But that shit was, I didn't know that it cost money. So I hit star 69 like 10 times in 1 month because I was in like 8th grade. And I don't know, I was trying to figure out who was pranking my house or which girls were calling my house. Because obviously a bunch of girls were calling my house. Why wouldn't they be? So I hit it, I think I hit it like 10 or 12 times. And my mom got the phone, but she was like, who the fuck's hitting star 69 all the time? So happy birthday, Mom. I don't have to hit star 69 anymore. But what I do apparently do is I leave the lights on everywhere I go. So one thing I've been getting yelled at like I'm a goddamn kid again. Been leaving the lights on all over the house. Just, if I walk in a room, I turn a light on. If I walk out of the room, I do not turn that light back off. And it's fucking comical to me that the generation, my parents' generation, the baby boomers, that literally is ruining the planet, that put a hole in the ozone layer, that, created a fucking plastic trash island in the Pacific Ocean, is fucking paranoid about leaving the lights on. And is it an electricity thing? Is it a money thing? Is it their parents yelled at them for leaving the lights on thing? I don't know what the hell it is, but I can tell you this much. It's pretty much the one thing that I think we're going to have to figure out. Either I'm going to have to start turning the lights on, or my parents are just going to have to start yelling at me over it, or stop yelling at me over it, because it's going to be the one point of contention. I just don't get the disconnect. Like, you ruined an entire biosphere, but you're worried about me leaving a fucking 60 watt on in my bedroom when I walk out. I don't know. I don't get it. It just doesn't. There's some sort of weird juxtaposition. Now, like my grandma's generation, those fuckers had the diaper man come to the house. They reused diapers. They reused milk bottles. They reused everything. My generation's pretty bad, but my parents' generation is literally ruined a planet. And I get yelled at for fucking, leaving lights on. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I tell you what you're not going to do. Is you're not going to be Henry Cavill's Superman. Old Superman. Apparently his kryptonite is the Me Too movement. I don't know if anybody saw this fucking interview he did. Apparently he said he's afraid to date in the Me Too era, which I have touched on. Like, but my fears are a little different. So his fear is that, I guess, he's going to get his career ruined, which could be a genuine concern, because if I were a man in Hollywood right now and I were, slanging Peter, so to speak, I'd be worried that a woman was going to, falsely accuse me. However, we know that most women don't go out of their way to falsely accuse men of these crimes. So he basically goes out and says that he's scared to date in the Me Too era because he's afraid to be accused of sexual assault or sexual harassment. However, something tells me that a guy like Henry Cavill could get plenty of women to consent to do a lot of different things. We'll just say, we'll leave it at that. We'll try to be as PG as possible on this. But I'm talking about sex stuffs, maybe even butt stuff. I don't know. It's Superman. But he could very clearly do whatever he wanted. And this guy's coming out basically saying he's scared to date in the Me Too era because of getting falsely accused of rape. I'm more concerned that it's going to turn people into prudes. But the more I read and the more I hear about, what's just get consent. It's as simple as a yes. Like, it's not going to suddenly turn you into a prude because you have to confirm that the woman wants to do these things with you. By and large, is a willing partner. Like 99.9% of the time, if you've put in the work and you actually care about her and she cares about you, you have a willing partner. You're good to go. I didn't mean to make a weird circular symbol there. Hey, Jeremy, what's up? Do you like the Mary Lou voice? I think I'm going to keep it like that for a while. I'll just do a whole podcast like Mary Lou. I'll tell you, I was making my sweet potato pie the other day, and it came out a little crispy on the edges. I forgot to put foil around edges because you got to put because the crust cooks faster than the pie. And if you don't have the foil around the edges, that crust's going to burn on the outside and your pie's not going to be done. So you really got to remember to do that sweet potato pie right and put that foil around the edges. Tell you what, that's my tip for the day. Put the foil around the edges of the sweet potato pie. Remember that one for November when Patty LaBelle sweet potato pie's out there selling for $9 a pie. You can get one for, I think you can make a sweet potato pie, honestly, for probably $2. Like you could buy, and you don't even have to do, or you could buy one of the pre-made crusts. That's probably actually, you could probably do the pie. I lied. You could probably do it for $5, even less. So you do the pie crust is maybe what, I don't know, $2, and then you buy 2 sweet potatoes. That's like $1. So it's like $3 for a sweet potato pie. Everything else you have in your fucking fridge. Why am I talking about sweet potato pies right now? I was talking about Henry Cavill and the Me Too movement. And I just think it's a little bit disingenuous for a guy who looks as good as him, who is fucking rich and famous, unless he came out and said, I don't want my career ruined. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm afraid to date. Like, just don't do shit that's creepy and don't do shit that girls don't want done to them. Like, yeah, did I grow up in like a frat boy era where if you were 22, you probably grabbed a boob or smacked an ass, and I'm guilty of it. And it's disgusting to say, but it is what it is. It doesn't make it right, but it happened. I'm not going to pretend it didn't. I'm not going to pretend I was some choir boy, because I was not. But we're in an era now where women are speaking up about their experiences, and they've been awful, a lot of them. So, just get some consent before you go grabbing areas that are covered by clothes. That's kind of the what I would say a good rule of thumb. If you're going to grab or put your mouth somewhere that is covered by clothes, get consent first, and then you can go ahead and carry on with your business, whatever it is. Yes, like having a broadcast. So I don't know. I'm sure there'll be apps that come along where you'll get like a green light or a thumbs up or something. Like you can check in on Tinder and you'll give like a check for I'm happy to consent to what we're about to do. Or like the girl will give you a wink or a poke or some shit. I don't know. Was that the consent back in the day when we were kids? Like the Facebook poke that was like, I like you. I want to do things with you. Now who knows what the hell a Facebook poke is? I got poked the other day. I was like, what the fuck what does that even mean anymore? Is someone trying to like steal my identity? I think that's what it means now, is some fucking Russian dude is trying to steal your identity. Yes, consent to suck toes is a definite. You definitely need consent, and that's just not a Me Too thing. That's because I don't think there's a part on the body that has a more varying, I guess you could say, range of emotions. There are people that love feet. I mean, all you have to do is go on the internet, and there's whole sites dedicated to that. That would probably kick you square in the face, and you would come up looking like you just boxed with Mike Tyson if you tried to suck on their toes. There's just no in between on the toe game. Toes are like people who love it or hate it. I've never met someone that's kind of like, whatever when it comes to toes. It's either, yeah, fucking touch me with your bare foot. I would definitely say that. Oh, but so this is what I'm curious about. So when we were moving, I think it was Justin that said he just watched Gone Girl. And it was bizarre because it had come out so long ago. But two, then we started thinking, I don't think you're alone in that, Jeremy. I think those are the they don't call them the girls for nothing. And there's a high likelihood if you call your boobs the girls, I'm not a fan of you. Me and the girls, hashtag beach day, hashtag looking for an excuse to put my titties in a picture. What is with that? With the most girls on the fucking Instagram, especially. Facebook's bad, but there's always like, rough day at work. Here's my titties. Like, why is it every single Instagram picture has to try to have cleavage in it at some point? And they're always like, I don't know how they hold the camera and squeeze their fucking chest together. Because some of these girls I know personally, and I'm like, your tits are not that big. You don't have cleavage. So why do you have cleavage in this Instagram picture? Like, are you like squeezing? Like, are you like literally like doing like a shimmy while you fucking take your selfie? And these man, selfie angles are getting out of control, because I've seen girls who are every bit of, I don't know, 250 pounds, and they look like they're like goddamn Playboy models on some of their Instagram pictures. And it's like, how's your, like, that's so I don't know if it's the angle, or if they put like thinning filters on. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but either way, here I go off the rails again, talking about chubby people. I'm a fat ass myself, so I feel like I'm allowed to talk. It's one of those things, like if you're black, you can say the N word. If you're fat, you can talk about fat people. So I'm fat. I'm borderline obese. I'm allowed to go ahead and talk about fat people. So have at it. That's what I say. But back to Gone Girl. I'm curious, and I really would love if it would have come out in like today or this Friday or whatever. I guess movies don't come out on fucking Sunday nights. That's a great day to release your movie. I'd make a shit ton of money in Hollywood. Here, let's release our movie on a Sunday night when no one wants to be out and everyone's getting ready for work. No, but so the whole, if you haven't seen Gone Girl, it's been out long enough. I don't care. Spoiler alert. Fast forward 30 seconds. Basically, this woman fakes her own murder, and her husband like is being accused of it, and she goes to some guy, fakes that he raped her, kills him, comes back to the husband, and I guess it's kind of like a "you'll never leave me" kind of thing. So she cried wolf, she cried rape, blah 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 blah. And then she falsely accused a guy of murdering her. I guess you can't accuse someone of murdering you if you're fucking dead. Smart ass. I'm smart alert over here. Smart guy. No. So she basically falsely accused this guy of raping her. She killed him. She falsely framed her husband for murder. And it would be funny because, like, it'd be a Harvey Weinstein production. He'd be like, look, see, bitches lie. Bitches be telling stories. They be making that shit up. He'd be like doing the whole press rounds, he'd be like, oh, look at this movie where this woman, she made up these accusations about men. She'll be home any minute. She literally will be home any minute. Oh, she's home? You just tripped over her bag. Go see her. Are you done? In 2 minutes, I'll be done. All right, so that's my, like, I no longer look at the timer. I just basically go until either like Lindsay gets home or the kids distract me enough times, and I'm getting there. But I think it would be great to have Harvey Weinstein, or Weinstein, whatever. One of those, one of those Jewish sounding names in Hollywood, since the Jews and the Illuminati run the world. Hashtag sarcasm. Don't believe that. Also, the world is not flat. Neither are my abs. See what I did there? Brought it back to me being fat. I did get a little bit of flat because I guess I've said the word whale the other day in reference to women on the back of a motorcycle. I was talking I apologize if I'm not gonna, actually, I don't apologize if I offend you. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I'm not talking directly about anyone. Let's just put it that way. So if you feel that I'm directly talking about you, I'm not. You're not that important to me. If you are, I will definitely put your name on the shit. I will just say, I'm talking about you right now. That's what I'm talking about, you. So Harvey Weinstein would definitely be all over Gone Girl. He'd be doing multiple screenings. He'd be like, look, bitches lie, bitches make shit up. That'd probably be the name of the movie. It wouldn't even be called Gone Girl, even though the book was Gone Girl and the book was written by a woman. It'd be like bitches lie or bitches be tripping. I don't know what it would be called, but it'd be something along those lines. I'm sure the Me Too protesters would be out and being like, don't go see this movie. It minimizes real women's complaints of real assault, and it does, and I get that. Look, I'm not trying to say that women fucking make up rape allegations. It's not what I'm getting at. I hope you were listening 20 minutes ago when I said what I said about that. But I just think it would be funny because I think the Gone Girl movie would get some serious backlash from women in today's age. I don't know if it did when it came out. It may have, but I think right now, if it were released in this whole era, I guess you could call it Me Too. But speaking of someone who's a sensitive little insecure fuck, how about this Drake dance song thing? I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. If you're friends with John Ricketts on Facebook, go check out the one he did with his daughter. Fucking adorable. It's awesome. John Ricketts, I don't want to blow up his spot, but he's on Facebook. It's not like he's hiding. So if you see, go check his Facebook out. It's really awesome what he did with his daughter. So Drake has this new song out. I think it's called In My Feelings. So it's like the In My Feelings challenge where people are dancing to a song. And it's basically like, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? He's such a insecure fuck. Like, this guy's got millions and millions of dollars, rap star. I guess maybe he's in his feelings because he just lost the fucking rap battle. But I don't understand where this insecurity comes from for Drake. It's like, I get it. Like, Kiki, do you love me? Or like, I don't. What the fuck do you care? Why do you care if she loves you or not? Like, he's always crying about some like porn star or model. And it's like, just go find another one. You're not a normal guy like me. I'm allowed to cry about a girl. I mean, hell, I spent 3 years listening to Taking Back Sunday and Brand New and Newfound Glory, just crying about girls and going emo, and they all hate me. What am I doing wrong? Probably getting hammered, drunk, and vomiting on them was probably what I was doing wrong. But just go find another one. You don't need to waste 3 minutes of my life crying about Kiki and wondering if she loves you or not. If you have to ask, the answer is probably no. That's the rule of thumb when it comes to women. If you have to ask, the answer is no. Until you marry them, then you never fucking know what they're thinking. Then all bets are off. They could be wanting to slice your throat, and they're like smiling, and they're making you breakfast, and you're curious because you just got in a huge argument, and it's because she's getting out her anger by being nice to you. She wants to play this mind fuck with you so that in 3 days, when you think it's all done and over with, she can then bring up 3 days ago. Remember 3 days ago when you were a jackass to me and I was cooking you breakfast and I still, like a good soldier, I did that and you didn't give a shit. You didn't thank me. You just ate the fucking eggs and you didn't say whether they were good or not. And yeah, and then in 3 days, then you have to deal with that. So I'm just saying, until you marry him, you usually know where you stand. And then once you marry him, all bets are off. And right now, things are great in the Dendarski household. Lindsay and I are not arguing. I say this, I haven't talked to her since our last text when she was leaving work. So in the hour, maybe she's gotten mad at me. I don't know, but I don't want anyone to read into this like there's tension. I think the move's gone okay for her. I mean, she's moving in with her in-laws. I don't think anyone's excited to do that. But by and large, most of the issues have been me. We're still living out of bags. We've been here about a week. I did some laundry today, so I helped out. I get my big helper. Well, guys need such validation. I don't know why I just said that. Oh, I did a load of laundry today. Like it's a big deal. Like she hasn't done fucking 30 since we've been here, but I did one, and I want everyone to know that I did that one. God, we're such fucking... Yeah, I'm surprised guys didn't start Me Too. We're so needy. I did one load of laundry. Please tell me how great I am. I'm such a good guy. I'm a good husband. I'm a good freaking guy. Oh man. All right. Let me wrap this up. I wanted to talk about the thin blue line shit that happened in Lewis, I guess it was, or Milton. I don't know. I don't even know. I know it was I know some big shit on a couple of my friends' timelines. It made the newspaper, the Delaware State News. Basically, I'll get it. Whatever. I'm here now. I'll get into it. So basically, a woman was driving along, saw a thin blue line flag, ripped it down. Someone witnessed her doing this, called the police, gave the make and model of her car, her license plate number, and said this woman just ripped down a thin blue line flag. Come to find out, it was in honor of a policeman who just died, which really, really, really sucks. And I think he passed away unexpectedly too. Like he was due to retire end of summer. and he just passed away unexpectedly. I don't know if it was a heart attack or what. I don't want to give misinformation here. So I'm hashtag fake news. Anyway, it was put up in his honor. I guess he had passed away earlier in the week, and then this girl came and ripped down the flag. The cops go to find it and retrieve the flag. She had already claimed she damaged it. She burnt it, so she was arrested. And this was a big to-do. Now, I don't think you should rip down something that isn't yours, unless it's, I don't know, a picture of your mom getting raped. Then you can pull that down. That's fine. Even if you didn't put it up, you can rip it down. Unless it's a picture of the Nazi flag. Yeah, just, whatever. Thin blue line. I get it that it offends a lot of people. I think it's kind of stupid because it seemed to be in retaliation, I guess you could say, to the Black Lives Matter movement. So I'm not a big fan of the whole thin blue line, Blue Lives Matter thing. I think everyone knows that. Anyway, so I think she's stupid for pulling it down. Me personally, but I don't think she knew that it was there as a in memoriam, so to speak, of a fallen officer. I didn't know the guy didn't die in the line of duty. Doesn't make his death any less tragic. I'm trying to minimize that. I think it was the news and this memorial's over the Nassau Bridge. Come check it out. Blah blah blah. It was just happened to be a thin blue line flag. That's my understanding of it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll be told that I was wrong, but I'm not excusing what she did because I think she's stupid. I think she deserves to be punished for it. I'm sure she'll get a fine or a slap on the wrist or whatever it is, because you're not going to go to jail for burning a flag. Like, she was released on her own recognizance, got citation. I'm sure she'll have to pay a fine. But what I'm saying is basically what happened online in my little group in Sussex County. There was a shit ton of people just talking about how shitty of a human this girl was and how terrible she was, and she's a scum of the earth. And in my opinion, they were only doing it so they could say, look at me, look how great of a person I am. I would never take down a flag and burn it. I'll never get off of Facebook or Instagram or any of those, so I'm a bit hypocritical because it entertains me too much. I enjoy it. I like the little back and forth, the banner. I don't argue nearly as much on there as I used to, but I still do enjoy it. But just this fucking self-righteous, get over yourself. Like, you're not a better person than anyone. Like, I grew up with all of you. You are all shitty people. We'll all be waiting in line at the gates of hell. Minus like 3 or 4 of you. 3 or 4 of you are really fucking awesome humans, and you know who you are, and you'll be looking down like, damn, I wish Mike was here. It was kind of fun hanging out with him. No, god damn, I'm full of myself. But no, like, I know all of you. You're not some fucking fantastic human. Like, stop pretending like you are on Facebook. Like, oh, I would never do that. Her mom and dad didn't raise her right, or she wanted attention, or whatever other fucking shit you were saying on Facebook about how shitty of a human this person was to try to make yourself look like the better one. Like, just stop. We're all shitty. We all have our flaws. And if there were, I don't know, some flag that you didn't agree with, I'm sure you'd want to pull it down too. There's a girl, childish probably, but like, let's stop acting like we're all holier than thou. And then people were sharing mug shots of a childhood friend of mine recently, and it's like, does that make you feel better about yourself that like you weren't the one in the mug? Like, I know what you were doing a couple years ago too. Like, it's just I don't know. It's just mind boggling to me, the shit that people post, like to like, I don't know. I don't know if they do it to feel better. Like, that's what I used to think about reality TV, that people watched it to feel better about themselves. But now with the Kardashians and Southern Charm and Real Housewives, it seems like people watch it to like envy other people. It used to be like Teen Mom and Jersey Shore, and you could watch it and be like, look at these fucking assholes. At least I'm not, that stupid idiot from Alabama who got pregnant at 14. Like, and you could feel better about yourself. But now it seems like reality TV is to be jealous. And I think social media is reflecting that too. It's like, you want people to be jealous of you. Like, oh, look how great of a human I am. And I hope that's not what I portray on my social media, but I'm sure I do. I push it to make it look like I'm a better father than I am, or a better husband than I am. So I'm just as fucking guilty of it. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking in circles now. So I think that's a good time to say thank you guys for tuning in, and go titty fuck yourselves.